There we go. It's this button, isn't it? I think it's that one. There we go. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is February 25th, 2024, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? It's a Sunday. I don't normally stream on Sundays, and I'm finding my way into getting weekend streams back into the mix here. It's going to be a busy week with streams too, because we're bringing back the Wednesday morning stream over on the Microsoft channels. We're going to be learning about Blazor with .NET 8 on those days. The schedule item should be up there on the YouTube channel if you're interested in following with that. So more good stuff coming. We are, of course, broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch. Right there, right over there. You can see folks on Twitch chiming in. Hello, hello. Lanky Scottish Nerd is here. Eternal Dev Coder, good morning to you. Red King, how's it going there? Good morning. Red King AZ, does that mean you're in Arizona? Help me out there. Yeah, we're doing the thing. Lanky Scottish Nerd says that thinking this is new gives you something to keep your attention peaked while you cook a pot of lentil and bacon soup. Ooh. Okay, all right. I'm feeling it. There we go. So I've got a little bit of coffee. I've already run a couple errands this morning. I mean, it's 11 o'clock on a Sunday. I've already taken care of a couple things. There we go. And I want to move. I want to move forward and try to knock out some of the questions, some of the challenges that folks have when they want to get started coding and working with the Tags app application. I want to make this real easy for folks to get started with that want to contribute and have that F5 experience, right? You start the application, you open it up in Visual Studio Code or in Visual Studio, press F5 to get started and see what it does. And right now it kind of falls on its face because there's a bunch of configuration to do. So I'm cleaning up the startup wizard a little bit so that it becomes easier for folks to jump in and say, well, here's a Postgres database to point to. Or you know what? Just give me a default SQLite database on disk and I'll write to that. Little things like that I think are easy for us to add and make it easier for developers to jump in and get started with us. There's beyond the database configuration, then there's the whole administration of the application. Like, you have to be an admin user in order to start searching for tags. Well, I need to then register and get that configured. Do I need to do that? Is that something where maybe there's a single user mode that I can just turn that on and you don't really need to log in? It's in single user mode and I can walk through some things, or I can turn off single user mode and then you do have to register to get things started. And these are things, there's folks that are writing and contributing to Tags app, but I want to make it easier for somebody to just jump in and take a shot at doing something as simple as, hey, I want to update some CSS. Hey, I want to write a little bit of a script to make something accessible. I want to do some, we're going to get to translations at some point. I want to help with localization. I want to make it easy for folks to get in and help out with those types of things. Lanky Scottish Nerd says, found the setup to be a little awkward. Yeah, documenting. That's another great thing. That's a fantastic type of contribution, Lanky Scottish Nerd. Yes, please, if you're interested in writing a little bit of docs, we can definitely use that help. Totally. I am hooked on coffee this morning. I'm sucking it down like I'm sucking wind here. I don't know. Tobo Nautilus, great to see me on a Sunday early evening. Good to see you, Tobo Nautilus. Your very first PR for a Microsoft repo got merged. Hey, we got to celebrate that. Come on. My Stream Deck is taking a second here to wake up. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, we got to celebrate that. Tobo Nautilus with a contribution to a Microsoft repo. An improvement to the Maui samples. Hey, do you want to share a link to your PR? So we can take a look and celebrate that? Congratulations. That's really, really cool. Look, that means something to the typical right? The typical developer that's out there that's hustling and you know what, I'm just trying to make ends meet. I've got a career I'm working on, but to be able to point and say, yeah, my name is on. That's really cool stuff, right? File that away for right your next review with the manager. Well, what did you actually contribute? What did you improve and help us out with here? Well, I improved the samples and documentation, not just for us, but for everybody. And you can find it right over here. It's in the documentation. You can see my name, yada yada. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. Very happy for you, Tobo Nautilus. Seriously, that means a lot for the average person, right? Like, yeah. Every now and again, I have maybe once or twice a year, I have a pull request that's accepted and merged into whether it's Microsoft documentation or into part of the framework itself. So that's something that I should be able to do more of, and um, I just need to spend time focused on and doing but I'm a Microsoft employee. I should be doing some of that. So we got a linked page there to Tobo Nautilus's contribution. So it is a little frustrating when you do submit something and they're like, "Oh, you need to rerun the thing." Um, so very cool. 39 files change. What did you change? Updated solution to beginner task to be aligned with other samples. Fixed missing indents. Here, let me head over to the code so we can take a look at that. Added comments with helpful links to Microsoft Learn. This bit right here, that can't be understated enough. In samples, having comments that link back to the documentation, that's a big deal. More folks need to appreciate that. Hey there, Walter!
Walter just resubscribed for 48 months.
Very cool. Thank you so much, and I'll make a donation to the American Cancer Society. Helpful code pointers to related setups. Very cool. And we can take a look at some of the files that were changed. So, typical stuff there. Yeah, instead of calling it Maui App 2, call it Beginner Tasks. Yeah, right. Namespace, and class name. Yep, yep. Good, and that's just dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Really easy things for community folks to be able to jump in and say, let me help you clean this up. Let me help you improve this. Make it a little more friendly. I want to see, there you go. I like this. This part right here is my jam. I love seeing this. So here we added fonts, and to understand the differences between add singleton and add transient, just a little bit of documentation above the sample where it's defining things in two different scopes. Nice. Changing that to me, that's a style thing. Sometimes I prefer having open closed tags there, but having a single tag, that's nice. Namespace, yeah. Right, those are all good things that line up. Namespace names, yeah. Very cool. Anything else besides namespace changes here? Moving things to different folders. Marking something read only. And instead of new observable collection, being able to do a expression, a collection expression. Sure. I see two ways to look at that. While this is nice and terse and uses a new feature, it's sometimes nicer in documentation and samples to be a little more verbose about some of it. Love seeing some comments around guard methods. Nice. Yeah. Great stuff. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Always love seeing that kind of stuff. Let me get some music playing in the background here. I'm gonna go with the Stream Beats EDM playlist today because I wanna tear through this a little bit. Yeah, let's start here. This is called Dopamine. There it is. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. You can listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at Streambeat. Well, it's not at streambeats.com right now. But you can find the playlist on Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Like I'm listening to all kinds of genres available. They're DMCA free and royalty free. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for making this music that we're listening to today. Yeah, let's clear that. I'm going to split and get us set up here so we can talk a little bit more about the project because I'm going to run it. Let's get it running over here. Good morning, Chris Funk. Hello, hello. Bauxite, how you doing there? You're welcome, Tobo Nautilus. Most of them was a fix me round from, yeah, totally. And right, some of that feedback, that's my style that I like to use, right? When I write samples, and I'm working on the rewriting the Blazor workshop, the Blazing Pizza Blazor workshop. There's things like that I'm going to put in both the prose that goes around the content, and you have that feature available to you in a workshop, and code comments so that it's right there as folks are reading code, and it feels good to do that. That's a bit like Fidget House. I'm not familiar with Fidget House. Judy Von Ash. Hello. Good to see you there. Coming into the stream, hearing Dopamine. That's right. Let me get the gunners on here. I've got the Marin glasses, the Marin frames. You're a little jealous of my posh setup? What's so posh? Are you kidding? I saw the folks from Elgato bragging about the hey, look at how easy it is to use the Elgato Stream Wave panels. They snap together with this frame and just hang on the wall. I'm like, okay, I've got the $5 panels that I've had hanging on the wall here for 5 years. You can't tell the difference. So, how you doing there on YouTube? Panayota, hello. I am not posh. Good to see you in Greece. How's it going there? I hope you're having a good afternoon. Early evening at this point, I think, right? Johnny B. Cat, good to see you. Hello. Jay, hello, welcome. The terminal setup. Oh, yes, that is Oh My Posh. You are correct. And that configuration, you can download. There's a link to all of my configuration files, including the background that I use in Windows Terminal here. You can download, and if you want to check that out and tweak it to fit in with your style, with some of the things that you like, it's available. Yeah, all right. Hey, good to see you, Panayota. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So 2 mics. Yeah, I do have 2 microphones. I have several microphones actually, but I've been doing this for 6 years. And I've been reinvesting in my setup, right? So, should we dive right into the code, or should we chat about things? I think we should dive in. No time for street sign gimmicks today, right? So, it's kind of it. I need to do a better job describing it. And Bauxite's been chatting with us a little bit about wiring up Telegram for TagZap. This is going to be very interesting when we get that wired in. I think there's some very cool capabilities there. I did pronounce it right. Awesome, thank you. And I'll remember that. Okay, you were in the States last summer. And you're going to be there again for work. Very cool. Oh, it's great to have you coming back to the States. So I've noticed that folks have said, hey, I kind of struggle with getting things set up. Napalm's been doing a bunch of work here. We're going to talk about Napalm's work on Tuesday. I want to get on the other side of getting some of these other things set up so that other folks can jump in and can experience what he's building for us. Really, really cool stuff around open telemetry for tracing, metrics, and logging. This is going to feed in so nicely when we put Aspire on this, and you're able to start and get the entire stack running, and it's ready to distribute using .NET Aspire. That's coming soon. But I want to talk about and dive into some of the configuration to get things started. It's actually one of the things in Milestone 4 was to improve some documentation and make it easy to activate and deactivate providers. These couple things here are really to help the development experience for folks that want to learn a little bit about TagsApp, learn a bit about Blazor, and get started. I'm positioning TagsApp as an intermediate to advanced application that anybody can learn about Blazor from. It's open source. Check it out, download it, look at it. There's a lot of really interesting things going on in here that we can all benefit from discussing. Whether it's architecture patterns, it's object-oriented software design, it's Blazor development techniques, because I'm using 4 of the 5 Blazor development models. Like, this is important that we have an extensive demo like this. The eShop demo is out there, and it's very bland. Everybody's kind of familiar with the storefront demo, and it is one of those, right? One of those classic problems that we always go back to and highlight. Oh, how do you build a storefront? Oh, you got products and customers and orders. Oh, you got to put it all together, and this is how you do it. And we need different systems that manage the warehouse and manage the accounting and blah 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 blah. It's boring. That's why our friend Fierce Kittens is building with Aspire up a bingo game, so that you see what it's like to build a game in a multi-user environment and the layers that you develop for that and how they all fit together, because it's much more interesting than thinking about the storefront. We all like to interact with social media, so that's why I think this, not only is it something fun and cool that we're building that's going to help .NET Conf, but it's also something that's fun that streamers can use to manage their streams as well. So it's a nice microcosm of a full-fledged application, says Bauxite. Amen. Yes. Yes, yes. So let me go over to Visual Studio. Didn't I open it? I did open it. Fantastic. And I do have a request left over here from last time from our friend Junie Vanesh to change to Soloist font. Have you seen the Soloist font? Do you know what the Soloist font is? I'm warning you now. When we start talking about fonts, we're going to use the force. I know. You want to get a free university email for student services. As a student, you could not. University Yemen is not there. Did not even provide us with. Oh, that's. Hey, Visual Studio, what are you doing? I asked to go to the font window. Why am I getting? Thank you. Let's see. Really? Visual Studio crashed on that? Visual Studio crashed when I opened the font window. What? Try that again. Tools, options. What was that? Whatever. Fonts and colors. And now we're spinning again. Really? Okay. I was scrolling down to Soloist. Yes, there it is. Soloist. Yeah. Yeah. Let's put a couple minutes on the clock for that channel point redemption for the Soloist font. Here we go. Oh yeah. Right. Here we go. 15 minutes on the clock. I'm not in light mode. No, we're not in light mode. Turn that off. Turn it off. It's that one. Why are my buttons on my Stream Deck? There it goes. They're not responding very well. I don't get it. Here we go. It's not the AI taking over, no. You were listening to .NET Rocks yesterday. How you doing, Surly Dev? David Fowler was talking about Aspire. They used the word Aspirify. That's right. We are Aspirifying applications. In fact, I own the domain name aspirify.net. So, we're going to be standing that up in the next few weeks here. I need to stand that up like this week. And we're going to start getting some content loaded over there so folks can learn about Aspire. It's coming. So, how you doing there? Tyron Des, how you doing? The only font you can use is Hack. I'm not familiar. What's the Hack font? Yeah, there is no upper and lowercase. It's all the same, right? How do you do camel case? You don't. There is no camel case because it's in Star Wars soloist font here. Okay, let me show you what the startup experience is here, and we'll talk about this a little bit and start building and pushing in a direction to make this easier for folks to start up. So yeah, Ron, there is no upper and lowercase. We're kind of stuck. Like, and that's part of the fun of some of these fonts that folks can choose for us to use here. Right? It looks weird. It looks fun here to do on stream. How you doing there, Jamar on air? What are we working on? I'll show you. And let's put a project command out there. Improving the developer startup experience for TagsApp. And then the source code is at github.com Fritz and friends tags. Darn it. Hang on. Yeah, it started up, but I was finishing something here, you know what I'm saying? There's the project command. If you're watching on YouTube, oh no. The link to TagsApp is just below in the description. If you're watching on Twitch, there's a link now pinned to the top of Twitch chat that is a link to TagsApp. TagsApp is an application that tries to make it easier to work across multiple social media sites. This is what the first start configuration looks like at this point. And we're going to clean that up a little bit. You want Papyrus. You wound me, Dukasoft. You wound me. So I have my database turned off right now, so it comes up with this error. Hey, I couldn't connect to the database. For the purposes of showing what this looks like, let me go restart the database. And I will restart the application here. And we'll take a look at it. So, yeah, thanks, Dukasoft. Thanks so much. We're going to go to Papyrus font after this. No, it's not excellent. So, Microsoft just cleared up a 504 gateway timeout in the updates. I haven't seen that now. So, I'm sorry, I do not talk about my salary. That's not something that I discuss. That's too personal information that I will not discuss on stream. Loving Blazor, just wish you could get your team to use it. Yeah, I hear that, and it's coming around. It's coming around. Folks are getting into it and enjoying it. Hang on. Where is Come on, there we go. That one. Oh, fine. You want to open a new browser? We'll open a new browser. I'll log in. I have it hooked up to my Microsoft account there. Ta-da! Yes, trying to sign me in. Of course you're not going to get signed in. Fine. There we go. So, yeah, that was from when we talked to the ASP.NET Community Stand-Up. I've also got a moderation view here, and it brings together messages from Twitch, from Mastodon, from Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube. I don't have YouTube wired up right now. We're going to end up rewriting that. But it brings together messages across all of those services so that you can analyze, you can learn a little bit here. If you want to host a stream or something and you want to be able to talk and present some of that content and answer questions, we can do that here also. So, right, so I can push some of these messages live and we can bring it up there. Boom, there's the message. Those that are on Twitch, please take a look at your channel reward points. No, don't do that. No. And all kinds of parts of this are customizable. So, right, the site name, right, we can call this something like that. I can change the header on that waterfall view here. Let's make it steel blue. And we can do something like that. Save those changes, go back over to the waterfall display, and refresh. And now it looks the way we want it to. So this is all built with Blazor. This is all open source, ASP.NET. It's a lot of fun to set up. And of course, I can customize the modal here. So there is a background image, and it's not showing it there for some reason. I don't know why. That feels like a bug. And let's change this. Let's make it, let's make it purple. Sure. Yeah, see, it didn't pick up. It feels like it deleted the background image there. That feels like a bug. Yep, that deleted the background image. Man. Come on, browse. I don't know why things are running so slow on my machine today. So I selected an image. There it is. Save changes. There we go. Cool. All right. So that's a bit of what Tags app does. And these filters here, we can turn things on and off. So, what am I using for the WYSIWYG editor? Which WYSIWYG editor? The customization here. This bit here, I forget what it is. That's how the heck can I read this? I will find you. It's not one of those. I forget the name of it. It's not that. Here it is. PSC Blazor Markdown Editor right there. See how hard that is for me to read? Like, come on. It's a rich text edit. That is free. That one that I just linked. Well, it's not even linked. It's just referenced. You can go search for it on the NuGet. Right? Go over to NuGet. So that's free and open source. It's not amazing, but it works. Do I have a favorite component library for Blazor? I love what the component vendors are building because they're very complete, and you get full support on that. I've always been a big fan of Telerik's components, mostly because I used to work there. So, and they have provided financial support to the stream in the past. No, don't tinker with those things. With great references comes great responsibility. Yes. And oh, you're cashing in, is it? So let me close some of these. I'm going to turn off the database over here, and we're going to go back to trying to make it easier to get started here because folks don't have the database configured and set up. So walk me through a little bit of that process to get started. Wow 5SHP. I'm not sure, is that Wowship? Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. So we're gonna improve this just a little bit here because I think the SQLite and not requiring a login to get started and be an administrator. I think that type of insecure mode is a nice place for us to make things easier. So now force a refresh and, well, okay. Interesting. Yeah. So going to there, it shouldn't even try to load this. Interesting. If I try to go to admin, yeah, that doesn't go anywhere. It's not even telling me where that error is. Authorization policy. Moderator was not found. No, that's the wrong answer, Fritzbot. Take a look at either the project command. That's not how you spell project. There you go. Or there's a message linked at the top of chat that'll tell you more about this, about TagZap. And we're going to make this easier for folks to get started. The in-memory, even if I select in-memory here and say, well, I want to start with an in-memory connection, it still wants a connection string. So let's see if we can improve this a little bit. Yeah, my mouse is not behaving here. So we are in and using the Soloist font as requested from Channel Point Redemptions. No, it's not that. I didn't mix those up. If I do go over to Moderation Razor, it's right there. What's happened is, I know exactly what's happened. We're in the program configuration, and there's an if around here. Dear Lord. Where it decides to set up the security. No, that's not it. Easy for me to find. Builder services, application modal config. Here it is. Add TagZap security. If we're not configured, those policies are not available down here. See them? So it's something, right? We're at this crossroads where, well, the application's not configured, so I can't configure security, but I want things to be secure. So how do we do a little bit of both? I think this is I don't think can I just add authorization? Can I do just that? What happens if I move that out so that it's always configured? No, you're not going to hot reload. That needs to restart to catch all those things. And we're about done Soloist here, but we're going to go over to Papyrus font. If you thought Soloist was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I don't have a Papyrus font thing here. I will flip that. No, it was, yeah. Fonts. See, why are you spinning? Like, what are you doing here? Papyrus, bold, yes. It is the avatar font. Like, it is. What's this one over here? Yeah. All right, so we are on Papyrus font for 15 minutes. No, you can't do wingdings. We tried that at Soft Taco. Visual Studio won't let you do that. So, hey, Sean. Yesterday was the first time setting up Microsoft Identity. It's not easy or intuitive. It's not for anybody. In order to make security complex and sophisticated enough that the bad guys can't hack, identity has become more and more complex. It is awful. It is awful. And there is no shortcut that the identity team wants to provide around that. They really need to, but they want you to understand exactly what's happening with the security data when you configure it. I want to be able to just say add authorization, save it to this database. Add authentication, get the data from over here, save it to this database, or run everything out of Active Directory. And here's all the authorization policies. Done. They won't do that. What's my experience in mobile app development? Not a lot. I don't have very much experience at all. This is better than Soloist font. At least we can read capitalization. These are not the droids you're looking for. Something like that. Continuing on here. Making sure. Let's see. Okay. So I tried restarting that, so that's properly not going anywhere. But if I go to /moderation, yeah, unable to find. Now it's going to be, well, I don't have authentication registered. Well, it's not registered. So, Cascadia code, Grexter is amazing. And that's what I typically use. Okay, so can I just set up, like, see, look at that. Now I'm crisscrossed between them. What have you done, Junie? I mean, come on.
You keep using the word.
I know what I keep using.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
It does. You messed up my fonts. It is chaos. Now I've got Star Wars font mixed with Avatar font. So what happens if I? Well, I feel like this needs to be added no matter what. Then. Is there? It's this one. Add that. Add data protection. Application name, default key lifetime. Persist it through security context. But we don't have security context yet, so I can't really do that yet. And then add identity core. Yeah, let me come back to that. This is a little bit more experimenting and lighting things up. What I want to do here is let's fix it so that when you select in memory, it doesn't. The connection string is just like, ignore that. Policy should check. So it should check if the application is configured. I could just get away with putting an error message screen there. Like global error handler. Oh, you're not configured yet. You can't get to this. Right? I could do that. But up in here. Configure security and content providers. We were trying to do this. Pre-calculate and put some handling in so that as that basic, there we go. So when you select one of the 3 providers, it generated something for you. But the on selection change didn't look like it was working. Let's take a look at the input select. I don't need, that's an extra browser I don't need. Blazor input select. There's an event handler there on selection change. Right? Yeah, on change event provides an array of selected options via event arguments. So on change should fire there. And it's interactive server. What the heck was that? Yeah, change event args. Ta-ta. So this should fire. I'm gonna actually, right? Let's set a breakpoint here. I'm gonna shut that down so I can run it with the debugger and we can take a look-see. Yeah, there's also nerd font options with Cascadia code so that you can use it for power lines, that kind of thing. That's actually what I'm doing inside my terminal here. That's Cascadia code, but it's called Cascadia Cove. It's basically the font with the glyphs for the power lines. So there it's starting. Come on now. What the heck else is going on this machine? There's the error because it can't get to the database. Why am I at 100% CPU usage and 60% of it is on Task Manager? Like, what the heck is Windows doing? Like, for real? Like, why am I at... And now I'm locked up. Like, this machine is trying to crash, but Windows is doing something in the background that's seizing all the processor. Like, it's not me. I'm gonna start dropping frames like crazy here. Yeah. What the heck is this? What are you doing, Windows? No, it's not OBS. OBS is using the GPU. I'm okay there. I do feel like I should reboot. Like, hey, McNets with the resub.
McNets just resubscribed for
Like-
8 months. It runs in my computer.
Yeah. I have no idea what Windows is doing. But they're... Yeah. It is not all OBS. Now you're telling me Windows subsystem for Linux. That is not 96% based on that. There is something else going on that it's not telling me. %38% CPU is nothing. When Windows preps for an update, it loves to just Windows update is when weird crap happens. All of a sudden, mouse moves on its own. Different windows get the focus while Windows is waiting for an update. Like, something else is going on. That's 38, that's maybe 40%, right? And call it another 20%, 60%. No, we're not at 100%. We're not even at 80%. Like, what's going on? I want you to show me what's using the processor, and it's... Fire up the ARM machine. No. What does the performance tab show? Right, like Task Manager starting off and showing 60%. Like, and because I started Task Manager, the whole thing grinds now. I don't know what was done in this latest Windows patch, but it's been awful for me. Just awful. And 197% CPU. What? Yeah, phantom processes occur is right. Yeah, the CPU is getting crushed here. I don't know by what. But I've been up for 4 days here. Look at that. These are absolutely pegged. No. I should reboot is where I'm looking here to flush out something that appears to be stuck in the background. Can we close things in the background? Yeah, I can't even open Steam to close it. Like most of the stuff that's sitting here on, yeah, in my system tray, I can't even right click and open. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Includes paid promotion. So I am a Gunner creator. Yeah. So I do talk about my gunner glasses a bit. Absolutely. Phantom of the Opera in processes. All right, so the debugger is attached. So when I do a change here, no, it didn't trigger that.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
It's the Captain Marvel hat. The Marvels movie is out on Disney Plus now. I really like that movie. That was a fun movie. Yeah. So, why doesn't this trigger? Like, it's this one right here. You gonna hot reload and patch that in? Yeah. And it isn't triggering this. Okay. A singing planet? Yeah, we're on a papyrus font. I can change back now, thankfully. Thankfully. Why aren't you? See, now my stream decks are not responding. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we can go back to full screen coding. And I'll change the font back. Immersed is still sitting out here. I'm going to try and kill Immersed. Go back to Cascadia code. Sure, that one. See, 90% CPU, and how dare you touch the task manager? No. Have I tried different theme colors? I have. They've done some interesting things with the new theme colors, to be sure. Where is it? That's not what I clicked on. No, it's not closing. Hey, Fuel Snable, hello. Okay. So, why doesn't that on change trigger? Like, we're on interactive server render mode. Is there something appearing in the error console? Ooh, yeah. Refresh the page. No. It's not hitting it. I do not know why. Right, because I want to have, hey, you selected this one that really doesn't have a connection string. Can I do something then with, if I can't do that? What if I did... What if I provided a private value here? Did something like that. If... Well, wait a sec. Configuration type equals basic. And value equals SQLite. String comparison. Then let's say content connection string equals no. I was trying to get it to generate and set that value. All right, go ahead, patch. Can I explain what is the difference between a jagged array and a two-dimensional array? Jagged array and two-dimensional array are typically used interchangeably. Jagged just means you can have different sized arrays as part of the child array. So, yeah, they are the same. Yep. Typically, it's a synonym in .NET speak. But you do have the option of not including values the whole way through the array. Hey, Thin Doll, hello. You got yourself a device to run Maui stuff? Nice. So if I choose SQLite, no. It's still not doing that. Back over here. I'm doing that as a bind value. Get rid of that. You dirtbag. Don't you love how we insult my code? Right? No. No. Feels bad, man. Okay. If I take this off, I could make it a... Well, I have it as a... Right? I could do this as an enhanced form. Yep, rebuild and apply changes. What is my rule for my magic strings? 2 or 3 copy paste and you make it a variable? Yeah, typically. It once or twice, even twice is too many. But then I'll start turning it into a variable. Like basic and advanced, it's only on this page. So I'm not wrapped up in making that a variable because it's only here. If I was using it somewhere else, oh, you betcha. Right, so that's not actually doing anything yet. Yeah. It needs a form name. Yeah. Call it that. Right. So now it's submitting and setting values. And it should put that object reference not set to an instance of an object. What? The value is null. I thought SQLite, submit. Value is null. The heck? Yeah. So back here, oh, now I need to do, where is config? There's the form validate. And the model that it's using is, right, I've got to shift the way I'm thinking now, is config up here. Where the heck is that? Supply parameter from form, it's right there. Hang on. Oh, I moved the properties over here. That's right. Get rid of that. Come back over here. Yeah. And I'll just... So... Need to figure out a good way to do a Quest 3 stream. It's not easy. Oh, you got a Quest 3? Yeah, they're a lot of fun. You don't trust hot reload at all? So I typically use the hot reload at the command line. I kind of agree with you. Not kind of, I do. So here, value, no, value is still null. It's trying to set a value. Let's walk up the stack here. What the heck is it doing? No. Provider is SQLite, configuration type is basic. I'm on the wrong setting. That's what's going on. I'm looking at the wrong setting. Yeah, I know. Go away. Blazor! Hello.
I just resubscribed for 20 months.
Thank you so much. 20 months with us, and I'll make another contribution to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for that support. I'm going to yank this. Get rid of that. Back up here, this John, right here. Hey there, Panayotap. Hello, welcome. Private string provider. Set. And then I'll do this. So if it's basic and the value being sent in is SQLite, then we will set the content connection string on. Yeah. Try that. Did it patch? Rebuild and apply. There we go. So. .NET Watch does have problems on its own. It does. You try putting the file name on the right. Yeah, so that's the tabs that I have open. So I'm using vertical tabs. You can... I'll show you. Right, there's a set tab layout that pops up. So you can do all kinds of things with tab layout now. There are options for you. Tab sorting. No, most recently used tab. Well, when they're on the top, right? But I can choose left or right. Group them by project. Insert new tabs to the right. So all kinds of options there, including, as you see, I have multiple rows now. Right? Preview tabs, floating windows. I don't colorize them by file extension. Where's multiple rows? Why don't I see multiple rows here? But I typically like them on the right. So. Yeah, that's the. It was Oculus, but now they call it Meta Quest. Yeah. Got your first contractor job offer for Blazor, asking for 2 years experience. Sure, you got it. Yeah, why not? Yep, Enterprise Preview is free. Yes, you can play with auto-running unit tests. Yep. You're right. Let's set. I'm going to end up setting all of them, but the one that's bound in the user interface there is a connection string. So if I set SQLite, submit. I did set that. Why does it think it wasn't set? Oh, it's so much fun. Right, so the value being set is SQLite. I've already set it to the provider value, so that's all the way through. If it is SQLite, set the connection string to that. Yeah, where's it hanging up? Vertical space is at a premium, but if I was using on a portrait-oriented screen, I'd want it at the top. And I do occasionally do that in VR. So I'll work in VR using the app Immersed VR. Really, really cool. What the heck? Like, why does it think nothing was set? When clearly it was. Right? If I put a breakpoint down there. Provider is SQLite. Connection string is set. So are we in there? Let's see, where are we set? Finish that. No. So it's not running. I don't think it's running this. Like, I know it's not running this. Because I turned it to static, so it's not going to trigger any of those. Hey, happy Sunday, Napalm. This is such a pain in the neck. Like, I want this to be... And actually... New... Interactive server. Yes. False. There, I got the check. And you want Comic Sans. Hey, Raj. We'll do Comic Sans. Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. I don't need Enhance here now, because that's not a thing. Form name doesn't really matter. But it's... Do I still have that on the... Yeah. It's not calling that. Rebuild. Let's see what that looks like. Hello, Mr. Chowdery. How's it going there? You like the Captain Marvel hat?
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Right, so failed to connect, and when I change that, there, it set the provider. That finally worked the way that I wanted it to. So I could click submit. And now it's doing the form validation, and then it should run. Right? And you want Lifecraft after that. Oh, dear Lord. We're going right through all the fonts, aren't we? Junie! Junie! You're...
Wait, let me explain something to you.
Our friend Junie Von Esch likes trolling me. This is... Where is this? Yeah. Okay, this is trying to set the JSON value here. And it's telling me that the... This is... Okay, this is good. We're gonna find this here. Let me see here. Grexter, this tool is awesome for programming font comparison. Oh, neat. Okay. Just started watching my C# Basic series on YouTube. I've got more coming for that series. Dear Lord, viewership of the last week on the C# and the Card series is up 1,100% over the week before. 1,100%. I've got the 10th episode that I'm writing today. Hopefully going to record later and get published. That's coming. It's telling me that the connection strings object doesn't exist. We can work through this. Are you kidding? Lifecraft, and then you want Notepad. No, we turned off in. I think we turned off in. I don't want to do in. Okay, so let's do... First thing we have here is Comic Sans. We'll do Comic Sans for 15 minutes. But... Yeah, the connection strings is what it's telling me is not here. This is good, right? Yeah, that doesn't exist, so we need to create that first if it doesn't exist. Okay. We can do that. Comic Sans in Notepad. fine. I hit the notepad button. There it goes. Come on, light up. There it is. I'm in Notepad, and you want Comic Sans. I'm going to stop the Visual Studio debugger. I will go back over here. Relaunch that. And down here, I'm in... Let me get down which file that was. Copy that full path. So I have a starting off point here. Comic Sans. 15 minutes. Here we go. Fine. No, you stop trolling. That's no good. You wouldn't use Vim for .NET because of the debugging tools. Yeah, well, and you can use Visual Studio mouseless. We have a couple of viewers that use Visual Studio with their voice. All doable. Let's see here. So it set up the connection string properly, but it was inside. Where was it? Set configuration right here. So if JSON object connection strings doesn't exist, we need to create that. So if JSON obj connection strings, I'll do a little pattern matching on that. How do I create one of those? Like, do I just say JSON obj connection strings equals new JSON element? Something like that? Is that even a thing? JSON node. All right, fine. It probably doesn't have a new on it. I probably have to create it. Yeah. So the document is JSON obj. So can I do something like that? Okay. I'm in system text JSON. System text JSON. I want to create not a note. I want to create a node. Yeah. I want to add a node. It's a new JSON object, so do I just say equals new JSON object? Right here. That worked. Okay. No, I'm not in Visual Studio. That would be illegal while we're in here. So now if I change this to SQLite, it generates a connection string for me. Submit. Now what it's supposed to do is actually restart the application with the new configuration loaded. And not great, but not terrible. We'll go to Lifecraft after this. Lifecraft font. So let's see the error it's throwing here. Wow. It's so much fun. This is something good to learn. Developers need to know how to read errors. And this is a humdinger. Let me see here. Is this a dictionary? Can I just set it? No, it isn't Locarno. No. I did remember to close it. Yep. The NTSC filters? NTSC filters. Can I introduce a good mentor for Linux OS? No. No. Wow. We broke this good. So there it was starting. Right? Okay, here we go. The SQLite version of the security context doesn't have data protection keys. This is good. This is something that's out of sync from my Postgres configuration to my SQLite configuration. So the data protection keys are, yeah, it's a missing table, but it's a table that contains the keys that'll be used to synchronize. NTSC. No, it wasn't. Okay, so we need data protection keys inside. Oh boy. What am I? What am I doing? Go over here. Just give me a new. I think it's this one. Tags app storage SQLite security. That one. So it has all, yeah. So this has the configuration for the SQLite database, right? Because SQLite is different between these. There's different configuration options and terms for loading that up. You started watching some videos about NeoVim mainly because Primogen championing it. Here's the deal. Okay, let's talk about this for a second because I get a lot of folks saying you got to use Vim. No, you don't. Using Vim is a very low-level editor that runs at the command line that you have to build and customize yourself. When you choose an editor like Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, Rider, I'm trying to think of the other JetBrains IDEs. Those tools have been optimized for the folks that build the frameworks that you use every day. Like, the first users of Visual Studio are the .NET team. If you're sophisticated enough that you don't want to use Visual Studio, you're implicitly saying, I don't need the tools that the folks who build the tools that I'm using use. Let that set in for a second. The folks that build Bing use Visual Studio. If you're saying that you don't need those tools, you'd prefer to use something else, is that a level of maintenance and engagement that you want to do? Think about that. There's nothing wrong with that, but there is significantly more editor maintenance and management that you are doing now that you are not benefiting from what folks who build these very large applications and frameworks that you are relying on prefer and use. What editor do you think Anders uses to write TypeScript? What editor do you think Guido van Rossum uses to write Python? What editor do you think Mads Torgerson uses to write C#? Well, get back to me. Those are the choices that those folks made. With respect, those folks do a lot more inventing with source code that I respect. So, it is a standard editor, so that's what you use, right? Yeah, learn to use man. Yep. So, NuGet does use NuGet, yes. Like, there's nothing wrong with using Vim and Emacs and Pico. If you want to use those, go for it. They're fine text editors. Nothing wrong with that. Understand, you're purposely shedding and stepping away from significant error checking and prevention tools that are built in to these free and open source tools that are available for you out there. So, and there are folks who love tuning and tweaking and adding features. Half the Primogen streams that I tune into, he's adding and building plugins for Vim. Fantastic. That makes him happy. That makes him productive. Go for it. That's a beautiful thing. It's awesome to be able to maintain your tools. You can also do that with Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code if you'd like. However, I would suggest that Visual Studio Code, Writer, these tools out of the box have most of what you need. Most. I'm not fighting at all. I'm telling you these are the benefits of the two. You want to code with Emacs or Vim, go for it. We're going to code with Vim in just a few minutes here. So, improvement anywhere than the bottleneck is a waste. That's a great point, Locarno. Fantastic. Tabs or spaces? Tabs, because they're accessible. Anybody who tells you spaces hasn't worked with anybody who has vision issues. So, all right, so we need to add, what's going on here is we need to add more of the configuration into the SQLite migration scripts. Oh, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be, so this isn't even writing code. This is like writing code generation. Like, we're going to be writing some code to write some code. So add Postgres. Let's copy add Postgres to add SQLite security migration. And the reason for that is, yeah, there's different settings inside of these. There's different the migration tools generate different definitions for columns and constraints on those columns, and how the script they create for the tables is different. So, imagine programming with 3D glasses and setting indentation to z-index -4. Funny you should say that, Blazor. I do. And I want to do that on a stream coming up. Because coding with Immersed is amazing. You also use Visual Studio. All you're saying is that you see some benefits in Vim. Like what? Customization possibilities. Like what? You don't think you'd be able to optimize all of those? Like what? You'd like to integrate different Git tools. Like what? I don't use the Git tools inside of Visual Studio. The new Git tools inside Visual Studio will automatically, with artificial intelligence, generate commit messages for you. Generate pull request messages for you. It's really cool. VS Code killed your favorite theme? Okay. I do code in 3D. Hey, how you doing there, Chaseko? Hello. Like, with respect, what kind of tools is Visual Studio missing? What do you want to customize? I work on the Visual Studio team. I might be able to point you in the right direction to answer that. Every couple streams, folks ask a question, hey, how do you do whatever, or what does that feature do? And I will show you. I will introduce new features that folks have, or throw back to old features that folks haven't seen in forever. I'm going to finish this script here real quick. Tags app web data context. We're going to write this into. It is what's the folder we were in? That one. Tags app storage SQLite security. And that should work. Should work. So let's go back over here. So add SQLite and add data protection. Dun, 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 dun. While that's adding, like, look, much respect for Primogen. I consider him a friend. I've had conversations with him in the past. We haven't talked in a while. He uses tools that he likes. I use tools that I like. No, he doesn't like C#. That's fine. I don't like Go. I don't like to write everything by hand. Tags app web data security context not found. Really? Where is it? Security context. I think we moved it, didn't we? Right, there it is. We moved namespaces, didn't we? Tags app security context. Fine. Try that again. Let that run. Discover new feature in Visual Studio almost every week. Yeah, there's a ton there. Locarno loves Visual Studio, just wish typing would always work with less than 500 milliseconds latency. I will absolutely agree with you on that. There's definitely challenges there. No database providers, but you can configure provider by specifying the on-configuring method or by using add DB context, blah, 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 blah. On model creating. There was a way that we did this before, and I'm forgetting it now. Some people see infinite number of tabs as a feature. Why? Got a double slash in there. Not sure that's going to be the issue. Let's give it a shot, though. I'm game. Let's give it a shot. Why was VSC written in VSC? Are you saying Visual Studio Code instead of C++ or C#? Because that way it's cross-platform. They build it with a they build it cross-platform with Electron. That's why. Have I been or used or customized C# identity? Yes, it's customized in this application. Don't I like checking if everything is nil? No, I don't. I like having a compiler that does that for me. C# nullability, awesome or not? Awesome. But I need to clear out my errors, my warning messages. I don't consider it an anti-pattern. I think it's a shift in the way that we think about how we write C# code that we aren't used to yet. So, changing your mind lately and using equals equals false. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, default bang everywhere. I don't like that. Required is nicer for that, but even then there's still there's structures that we need to adapt to for that. Visual Studio Code is made using TypeScript. Yep. Visual Studio Code is written with TypeScript. Visual Studio, the ability to pin tabs to their own row. Oh yeah, right. And it'll stick around now. It'll always be there. Yeah, right. Pin it and keep it up at the top. It is nice. I'm still running into this no database provider. Oh man. Do I really have to do the on configuring? I don't want to, but I feel like I need to. Part of me even thinks just to have a console application out there, a throwaway console application just to do this. Ugh. Yes. Oh, shoot. I did Alt//. No! The Visual Studio team doesn't believe me that this happens. If you do Alt// in the preview, in the 1710 preview 1, so to bring up, what's it called? I even got into it with the VP of .NET engineering. Yeah, this happens. This happens a lot. Yeah, like, you try to go into, and I'm toast. This isn't going to come back. The only way out of it is to crash Visual Studio. Yeah. Yes, end process. Like, you don't have a choice. That's how broken it is. So, I've applied updates, I've patched it all the way, and GitHub Copilot chat with Visual Studio doesn't work. The preview version. So, where was I? I was down in the security context. And I know I need to go into the other fonts here. Stand by. That one. Right. So I was writing... Really? Shut up! Thank you. And I don't want use SQL Server. I want use SQLite. You're not going to give that to me, are you? What a pain in the neck. That's just it. I'm trying to open the Copilot chat inline editor. Copilot chat. Like, and then if I do Alt// somewhere, it crashes. Like, and I can't even cancel. Done. Dead. Yeah. So. It's... And because, look at all the .NET hosts running out there. You. Goodbye. So, it's a preview version. These things happen. They'll have a bug fix. So. How to set up identity primary key into GUID? Why? Why? And which primary key are you talking about? And it should do it by itself. It defaults to GUIDs. I'll show you. Alright. Security. Really? There we go. So... I can't do the add use SQLite inside of here. So I need to put this into Program CS. so that it finds it and loads it, which I really, really don't like. Builder services, add DB context. Yeah. This is awful. I really don't like this. Use SQLite. And there's more options inside there. Migrations assembly equals. Can we do? Because it is right. It's reference. Oh crap! No, it's not reference. And even then, tags apps. How did I do this with Postgres? How often do I spend the 5 to 15 minutes to properly report a Visual Studio bug? All the time. You'll see me do that all the time here on stream. Where'd it go? I do this inside. Close the Mastodon stuff. Inside the Postgres configuration. There, add Postgres services. There, use NPG SQL. Where is it that it's showing? I did some. There it is. Migration assembly. Go back. That's called where in add security context if it's Postgres. So there's use SQLite right there. It should hit this. But down in here, it also adds the migrations assembly. Yeah, so if I say options, now this needs to be something different. Yeah, whatever. SQLite, and it doesn't know what that is. So somewhere in the chain, timer's right. I do. Yeah, I know the timer's right now. Yep. I'm trying to fight through this issue first, and then we'll go back to some fun with that. You stop it. It's hard for me to juggle this much in ye old noggin here. Tags up security. No, that's fine. So that includes a reference to storage Postgres security. Right. Oh, so we should be able to add a reference directly to it. Project reference. I'm going to run into issues with this, aren't I? Oh, boy. So, security... No, not that. This one's security context model snapshot. Fix the namespace. Storage, SQLite, security, right? Even then, give me a semicolon on that, John. And these turkeys. Yeah. Fix that namespace. I'm going to have to apply that to all of these. Come here. Yeah, that's right. Accept that, put a semi, done. Yep. Right, like, I'm getting assistance there from Visual Studio to reformat the code properly. Add data protection keys. It's there. Okay, so back over here. Storage, SQLite security. It's not in migrations. Try that again. And even then, I need to have it update the database. I don't think it's applying the updates to the database. Build failed. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's because it's still running. That's why. I don't. Give me a .NET build there. Show me what the error is. Catching up here. Convinced that every solution needs this method in the most common static class. Equals ignore case. I don't know if I like that. Service extensions, I'm missing a semi 109. What am I? Yeah, that closes that. That closes that. Why don't you like that? I've got too many opts. Inaccessible due to its protection level. Okay. What else am I missing? So this does a migration, yeah. Let's add that to SQLite here. Don't need that. I think I've got everything already built over there now. Let's just .NET watch and see what's there. Make her public. Yeah, that's right. From a security standpoint, you prefer GUIDs over ID values? No suitable method to override. What? The heck is all this? Is that because I stand by? No. These are generated files. First DB, line 16. That's not an override. It's in Designer CS, not this one. The namespace is wrong. Right, I changed the namespaces. Right, we changed it to tags app, storage SQLite security. Right, was that it? Just make sure. Yeah. Right. So it's not finding it because I moved it. There it goes. We're gonna light up another. We're gonna go to Lifecraft font here in just a second, and then there's that with the security context model snapshot is not public. Here we go. Hey, Aloo. Nah, not clean and rebuild. We're good. There it goes. It should pick up and run with SQLite. Come on. .NET Watch started. Give me a website. Give me a website. I thought I just set this. So SQLite, submit. So it's going to shut down the website, change the configuration, write the configuration. There it is generating. Now we got a SQLite version of the application. Nice. And here's this thing again. Circuit not initialize. Right? That should open things up there, but it's not. Right there it hid. All right, I'm going to save what I've got at that point. We need to do a similar thing with the in-memory database version. What? Yep. Don't worry about the logo. I don't think we need that just yet. I think we will. Add it. Why not? Updated SQLite configuration scripts. Okay. Does Visual Studio not have the context option to apply a suggestion at a file? It does. It does. I just didn't go through it. Like, right, I can open and I can do analyze and code cleanup, configure and repair things up there. Hey, try something, Dev. Hello. Welcome. Okay, so that's loading, but yeah, that looks fine. Like, big deal. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Let me go to Lifecraft font. Nope. And now I get the spinning circle of patience. Lifecraft. Be nice if I could just start typing and it would go to it. Like, it's actually going to... Yeah. There we go. We get the Warcraft font. Oh, yes. You know you love it. Where is it? Fonts. Lifecraft. 15 minutes of Lifecraft font. Turvy, thank you for the follow. Hello, hello. So... several things now. I'm not logged in, I'm not registered, right? But also the waterfall view doesn't work over here. And it's not clear why. It's probably just in this view. We can get rid of this. But I'm also thinking when you first start up, if your configuration is SQLite or in memory, turn off authentication. You don't need to log in. You are the admin. Right? Does that make sense? And give you the ability to turn it on if you want. Yeah. Right, because you're running in single user mode typically if you're running with SQLite or you're running with in memory mode. When you're running with Postgres is when you've got many users working with the application. I can delete this. We don't have that anymore. We're okay with that. So, isn't it fancy Here, adding security context. It adds the Postgres services. And then migrates and sets up. We should probably do the same thing here with in-memory database. Even though it's not pulling a connection string, should probably do the same thing. When you select in-memory database, force the connection string to database name equals tags app. Git commit, add, and push in one go. I do use Git manually because I'll take my time doing each one of those steps, and it's just kind of becomes second nature to key them in. So there are folks that have set up like aliases to be able to do those types of things. So, right, they'll do like git cp for git commit and push, and they'll pass in a message and it'll commit and push whatever it has been modified. So, so where is it? Up here is where it adds the security. So if we are in a configured state, yeah. So it adds that configuration, add authentication, add security context, add database developer exception filter. So do I need a security configuration that says single user mode? The other way that I would go then is I would use the Git window over here. And let it generate my message for me. Like, add AI generated commit message. Now I'm not keying anything in. Commit those things, generate the message, go. Right? So it's going to analyze my changes and give me a commit message based on that stuff that I deleted from the program CS. Right? Yeah, stop that. Right, so add that. Discard. It really is taking a long time. There you go. So, like, and it's very clear to go through and do there. So, then it don't really care. Yeah, this is Lifecraft font. Looks very World of Warcraft, and Junie Von Esch has been encouraging people to torment me. Troll me. So, okay, add data protection, state application name, it's going to add roles, but I want to set, if I put this in single user mode, I want to set the current user as an admin with an LCARS color palette. A little bit, sure. How do I set? Can I set the current user? Thinking. I mean, the current user isn't really logged in. All right, so we'll just force it. Can we say? How can we get to the current user? Well, we're not looking at the current user here. Can we put some sort of middleware that does that? Is that what I'm thinking? So if we did something like app.use, right, and we're going to take in context. Running in single user mode, the current user is an admin. So, yes, it does. It's a func that takes in request. Oh, fine. Really? I thought comma, next. Right? Why don't you like that? All right, show me your overloads then. That didn't sound right. HTTP context. Yeah. Request. I want context. Fine. And then no. Yeah, there we go. Now it knows it's request delegate next. Fine. Make it. I like that. Good. Now why don't we like this? Yes. Return next. Okay. Context dot. Can I get to user? Yes. So can I reach into identity? I can only get on that. No, not clone. Claims is a get collection. Can we add to it? I can append. So can I do that and then add a claim? Right? Not binary reader. I want to set them as an admin. I want to set the role, right? It's over. It's here. It's here. Claim types. Role? Yeah. It's like roles. Yeah, there we go. Role admin. Does that work? I don't know what I changed in there. Don't save. Let's see. You can't hot reload program. It's why is that delegate thing showing up? You. Thank you. You always ensured authentication from the component. So here I want to require it for the whole site via middleware. No, Locarno. What I'm testing is if you're running the website in single user mode, you are the admin. There's no reason to do authentication. You are the admin. No reason to require logins and that kind of thing. Just make you admin. So go back over here. I thought we just saved this. Right, submit that and it's going to restart. Okay, but am I admin? I don't think I am, because the admin hasn't popped up. The admin no. Report on the... Actually, don't I have a component that does this? Pages... I thought I had one. The roles... The current user belongs to... Thank you. We need to inject the user account pages. Manage. Actually, it's yeah, I purposely made the font huge because it's a smaller part of the screen. I'm not thinking this through properly and I'm getting confused. HTTP context user, that's it. I need to get HTTP context as a cascading parameter. Blammo. Right, we need a hot... The reload got burned out there. Yeah, live coding does require a bigger font. And I'm going to go back to the main screen. Come on. No, here, full screen. Yeah, see it, and it's... While that's going... Back to... Come on. Uh-huh. Now we'll go back to decent size font. So... You are not an admin or a user. Well, now I feel shame. Right, so we wrote this little bit of middleware right there. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, I'm bypassing auth just to see if I can get... Exactly. Right, when you're running in single user mode, there's no reason to authenticate. Like, give you the option then to turn on authentication and require login, right? These types of things are going to make it easier for developers to get started, because as a developer, I just want to get in and start tinkering with some of the features of this. I don't want to enable and have to go through the entire security configuration bit. What is Razor on this? 1 second. We'll talk. We'll talk. Give me a second here. Yeah, so user claims. There is no claims. So we're appending the role. Yeah. Right, and it's Submit that, and it's going to go do the configuration. Actually, we're going to lose it here. Here it comes back, and it's appending. So if I let that run, I go user. It says is authenticated equals false. There's my first problem. And it's not letting me put anything on claims. Let's tinker with that a little bit here. Context user. It is a get set. So I could create my own principal and jam it on there. I think you're right, Locarno. The claim is not applicable if you're not logged in as a user. So can I say equals new claims principal? What do we have here? Oh, really? Tell me more. Yeah. So now if I say context.user, can I create my own fake claims principal then there that's like single signed in user? So I'm already doing requires auth. It's already there. It's already there. And if you register because you're the first user, you get logged in immediately. Not logged in. You get admin immediately as the first user. Right? I'm trying to get folks right away into... Oh, heck yes. That's pretty good. Hang on. Please tell me that works. Right. Can I make that roles and policies? So this is somebody was asking about magic strings. I put all of my roles in over here as a series of constants so that the magic strings for the names of all my roles and policies are in one place because I use them everywhere. So I can easily extend this, and it feels like an enumeration, a real piece of code that I'm using, even though it's just a magic string I'm passing around. So if I do that, and let's change this to if true. And let's see what happens, right? The goal here being an affect single user mode, because single user mode's also what we're going to get when we lift this whole Blazor app up and drop it into a .NET MAUI application. So user, authenticated true, name admin. That works. I think we've got it, friends. Okay. Okay. So it's not saving it between settings. We'll figure this out. Well, the Postgres database is out there. So, yep, there we hit our breakpoint. I don't need to break at that. Yep, it's restarting. It's loading the new configuration. Yeah, I know. You are an admin. It doesn't have my username appearing up here. But there's nothing really for me to manage. Interesting. I am an admin, but when I click into admin, it routes me over here. Why? Do I need to move this up? Maybe I put it up here in the is development stuff. And what's the claim type in the header? So there was a question earlier about what's Razor. Razor is a way for you to mix HTML and C# and deliver it very much like you see PHP, right? You've got C# interwoven with HTML. Similarly, additionally then, we have other ways to execute and run that HTML code in interactive ways. So we're not just generating a big string and shipping it down, but we're going to generate a render tree of those strings. That way we can patch parts of the HTML, not just a block of strings, but we can patch it, and that will run much, much faster and interactively. And that happens all underneath the covers in the Blazor framework. So the name that appears there for you, nope, it's not in here. It's in the login view. .Blazor. There it is. That one. Register login. It's log out there. I shouldn't even have a logout button. Context user claims first or default display name. Fine. No. There it is. It's not going to let me hot reload that. Oh, maybe it did. But it won't, yeah. And it won't let me into the admin folder either. Why? Yeah, that's right, Badger. Yep. So there are folks who do like having their code intertwined with their HTML. Razor folks really like that configuration. That's cool. But you can separate it also and have it run separately like I have up here for the first configuration screen. That works, but it if I look at the admin screens, why is it rejecting it? Admin pages. So if I look at index and it wants to authorize where the role is admin. Actually, what I should do, that shouldn't be roles equals admin. It should be policy. What do you mean it's not available? Authorize attribute Blazor. That I don't know, Locarno. I don't know. Authorize. No, you're not going to show me the authorize attribute. There it is. Yeah. Roles. There, I can say policy. Really? Roles and policies. Policy. Admin role only. Right? And that policy admin role only requires role admin, which there's the role. So that should work. No. Because I should be authenticated before it gets there. What? Ooh. Wow. What did I... Restart. Something's not right there. Hey, Mary Jo Stabler. Hello, how are you? It's right. So SQLite start, and it should. Yeah, there it goes. Nuking itself, restarting. I am an admin. Great. Get me into the admin pages. Okay, I have the authorization turned off. Let's go back over here. I don't plan on keeping this, but... that should have. No, it didn't get an HTTP context. It was on the home page. Is it good practice to have strings peppered through the application? No, it's not. Especially ones that you reuse that are the name of something that's important. Consolidate, put them all in one place. I'm testing something here. I'm trying to, right? Let me force a restart there. This might be because the layout doesn't have the HTTP context. Yeah, it helps with localization too. Yep. SQLite, go. Let's see what we get here. Yep, okay, it thinks I'm an admin. Back over here, thinks I'm an admin. But if I put the policy on, yeah. So is there something in admin layout that I'm missing? So let's also look at main layout. Inherits from layout component base. Yeah, okay. I don't see... No. Yep, make it work, then make it work good. Yep. Is test a valid authentication type? Fair. I hard-coded authentication type here. Can I just drop that? It says I am an admin. Great. Go. No. Force it to restart just to be safe. Recommendations on load testing. I don't have any. No. Playwright's good for integration testing on websites. There's a load testing service on Azure. I haven't tried it, so I can't speak towards it, but I know there is one. Yeah, sorry. Starting to get into... What's K6? I know K8. Yeah, see, I get... And... I clicked into waterfall. The stress testing app. Gotcha. If I just put authorize on this and I take the policy out, does it at least pick that up? No. I have to completely remove it. So there's something that it doesn't like. No. That I should probably remove at some point. That's the new claims. Yeah, the authentication type. Cookie? Can we do that? No. So what's the authentication type that we're trying to pick up here? Right, because we added... authentication type. No. ASP.NET authentication create claims principle. There's examples that Barry Dorans has on this. Basic. Okay. No, that still doesn't work. I shouldn't have clicked into that. But it still doesn't pass through the authorized bit. Oh boy. Yeah, come on, show me how you created one. List of claims. I don't want to go that far. I am. Right, so if I go back here, if I say roles equals admin, so I am an admin, I click into there, and the authorized admin doesn't come through. I'm setting the user here. Do I need to move it up higher in the stack? Right? If I put it here, now I need to restart. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, let me restart. It should pick up that I'm an admin and let me through. Waiting for the web server. There it is. And write the configuration so we get a SQLite database. It is hitting the middleware. It is, because we see on the home screen, it detected we're an admin. If I go over to home here, I can say you are an admin named HTTP context user. Oh. I'm not in string interpolation. Really? Can I just do name? Identity. Code changes applied successfully. There we go. Right. So if I go back into program, name Foo Magoo. There you go. So it is hitting it. It is picking up my user. When I click over to admin, it's not seeing it. So I'm right. The other way for me to kind of force that would be remove that attribute. And now it lets me through. It still says I'm an admin. Like, it knows that I'm an admin, but the authorize is coming in too early, right? Like, HTTP context user if no user is in right. Thank you. Navigation manager. And it works. So, learned about dev containers? Yes, dev containers are very, very cool. But I'm running locally here on the metal, as it were. So I should be able to add a hashtag. Also, clicking into these other ones. Interesting. Hang on. Admin users, that? Well, that doesn't have... That's open. Oops. You shouldn't be able to do that either. Uninitialized. Right, paste that in, delete. Don't have navigation manager. Give me a big old check here. Come on. No. It's right there. This one. Do I have app use authorization? Yes. It actually gets called automatically now if you have app add authorization. So I'll turn on SQLite. You're a noob to Razor? It's a cool. Oh yeah, this is buried underneath an authorized route view. So users, that works. Providers, it only has Blue Sky. Not terrible. Mastodon should be enabled. This is going to be a treat. Yeah, why isn't Mastodon starting? It's saved. Continuing customization. Foo. Welcome to Foo. My name is Bar. Save. That's not saving either. There it is. Foo. And if I go over to waterfall, hello Foo. My name is Bar. Tell it to search for a hashtag .net. There's pieces here that don't work. Yeah. Where am I? Twitch chat provider. That's not running. So there's clearly a single user mode here that we can do. Yes, HTTP context is a cascading parameter. Why do I have it? Because that's the model that you use when you turn on security in your Blazor application. It's defined up in routes.razor. So that's the configuration that comes in the box, so that it does all the authentication for you up front and passes down. So I'm a new app. You an admin named Foo Magoo. Okay, here we go. Over here. Hashtag to watch.net. Where'd it go? Yeah. If the client is not running, that should be, I have this backwards. That should be true. Here we go. Right, so we're faking this out. So what I'll do is I'll put a configuration option in that by default, when you set up a new database, says single user mode true. And when you want to open it up to more users, set single user mode to false. So back over here. Now it should be writing that into, there it goes, into a SQLite database. Al risque.
Alright, just resubscribed for 7 months.
There we go. Yeah. Now we're getting content. Now we're getting content. Blue Sky and Mastodon are both working. Twitter provider's not activated, returning sample tweets. That's okay. So, item with the same key has already been added. Not terrible, but terrible. I'm going to save a little bit of where we are at this point. And I also want to look at app settings JSON. Yeah, see, it's writing the configuration provider here. Getting a test user in single user mode configured. Oh, darn it. Fine. Really? I gotta format my code, darn it. How you doing there, El Risque? Thank you so much for the resub, and I'll make a donation to the American Cancer Society for that. Much appreciate. We have a number of folks that we've lost in our tech community over the last year. Both viewers here, friends. I personally have family members that have been touched by cancer, and she's actually on her last week of chemo this week. It's funny, she refers to it as they've been injecting her with poison. But she is on her last week of chemo this week. She finishes on Thursday. We are bringing her gallons of ice cream on Friday to celebrate that she is done with chemo. She's been a trooper. It's been so hard for her, and she is getting through it. I'm going to be so happy for her when she's through this. Oh my gosh, Anonymous gifting Dukasoft a sub.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Dukasoft.
Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much for that support. Sure, accept the thing there. Go ahead, complete that. And commit that change. There it goes. I'll close that. Yeah, push those changes and we're off. Thank you so much to our anonymous friend there for passing along the gift sub. I am on a bit of a subscriber push. To get to, I need to get to 100 subscriptions from folks buying subscriptions for themselves in order to get to the first level of Streamer Plus. Is that what they call it? On Twitch. And that'll take everybody's subscription from a 50% match to it, from a 50% to a 60% revenue. And it has to be for themselves, not the gifted ones. So it doesn't count Prime either. They have to be purchased subscriptions. Yeah. So I am on a little bit of a push trying to see if we can reach that. My subscription numbers aren't very high comparatively. But if we get there, we get there. If we don't, we'll try again next month. So, where the heck is it? It's so hard to find these things in the console. I can't find it. Twitch needs a search thing for their stuff. It is impossible to find settings in the Twitch console. It really is. So that update went through. This is going to kind of, fall over and not be happy. Yep, it crashed even. So if I do have a configuration option of single user mode, that's something that we can turn on and off. Right now I'm going to, I just go over here and we do a .NET watch. Kids like mobile apps. They do. In the stream description. Yeah, the Partner Plus stuff. So, yeah, this is what they're trying to do. So, I don't even have 300 subscriptions, but we do have more than 100 subscriptions. So if we get to 100 points for 3 consecutive months, so that will mean everybody's subscription pays more towards the charity. So, so if I do SQLite, Submit that. Now it should write the file to disk. So there it is running. And if I click into admin, we tell it to search for a hashtag. For some reason, it doesn't take the first time. I think it's writing the file to disk or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Take a look at the list of providers. It always connects to Blue Sky because that's an easy one. No, it's not enabled. You shouldn't be healthy because you're not enabled. Let's go to the Blue Sky provider for a second and see if we can fix that. Providers, Blue Sky. So there's the configuration. Yeah. Start gets the configuration enabled. It should not do anything else here if it's not enabled. Thindall, thank you so much.
Kindle just resubscribed for 22 months.
22 months.
He says.
Thank you. No, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I will make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Tier 3! Holy smokes, Thindall, thank you. That is very kind. Yeah, you can see the number of subscription points. It's just below the stream here on Twitch. If you click into the About tab, that says we're at it says I'm at 136 sub points, but we're at 67 points to get to Partner Plus. So we need 100 to get there. Thank you so much. Right? Doesn't look like it refreshed. But, like, I don't make a thing about trying to hit the subscriber numbers, but since there's an incentive to tick that over and increase the match, I don't keep the money. I donate. It just gives a way for everybody's subscription to mean more. Thank you so much, Sean.
23 months.
Yeah.
Let's get there.
Thank you so much. 23 months, almost 2 years with us. Oh, Sean, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't ask for subscriptions. I don't ask for cheers. Would folks be offended if I ran a subscription drive? I don't know. Locarno with the Prime. Thank you. Unfortunately, the Primes don't count towards this, but I do appreciate it. Put the overlay on there? Maybe. Maybe. Where was I? So there's a status in here. Yeah, there it is, status. So if we're not enabled, I'll say status dot is disabled, and yeah, Blue Sky is disabled. And oh, return. Don't try and start it. Right? So if it's disabled, don't try going and connecting to it. It's for a good cause. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, it's still donation money. Absolutely. It's always great if you use your Prime subscription here. No doubt. Totally is. I would do a donation drive, I guess. Sure. I do still owe folks things from the St. Jude drive. So if I click into here, providers, that should say disabled, unhealthy, or not started. Right, there's a thing that should be appearing in there. Blue Sky is disabled. Digital Drummer J, thank you.
Just resubscribed for 17 months.
Much appreciate bringing that Prime. 17 months with us, and a hype train is live. The hype train is live. Thank you, friends. I do appreciate it. I really do. When we get into May, we're gonna do another drive for St. Jude. I'm gonna have other incentives for us this year. New stuff for us to do, ways to troll, weird things that we can do on stream. We did a Hot Ones live coding spicy chicken eating challenge. I'd really like to invite somebody who's a luminary from the .NET community to join us to do a spicy chicken wings challenge and chat together. There we go. Now it says Blue Sky. Jens! 5 gift subs into the channel. Thank you so much. Much appreciate. I'll make 5 donations to the American Cancer Society. Congratulations to Kaminarin, Artemids, Surge Dev, Hop in the Cloud, and Canhorn. You got gift subscriptions. As the hype train rolls on here, thank you so much for those 5 gift subs. Yeah, much appreciate. Moving that along. Yeah. Sounds like a keyboard needed replacing after eating wings and coding. No, I think we can have some fun with that. Not offended as long as I'm not offended about not subscribing. You never have to subscribe, Thai TV. You never have to. It's strictly a we can make our contributions go a little bit further. That's all. And folks that do, that's great. And folks that gift and share that, that's awesome also. So, I pay it forward. So, that's properly appearing the way that I want it to. But Mastodon, I thought, yeah, Mastodon is enabled, but it says not started. It should have started. That and right, it should have started. Oh well, I don't have a hashtag yet that I'm searching for. So now if I go over to providers, now it started, and it's looking at some sample data over there. There we go. There we go. So we got some, right? So I'm running in SQLite mode. I searched for a hashtag, and it lit up and it brought it through for us automatically. Like, and all of that works. So I think if I go into home here, besides having hashtag to watch, I think I should have single user mode. There's also the moderation enabled. I think I need to should move this to the home next to the hashtag to watch. If you spend a bit of time on here, having Twitch Turbo is great. It is. Thindall, you're right. Get the same ad money, and Twitch really wants me to run ads. They really want me to run ads. Let me save my changes at this point. So, I'm going to add it was Blue Sky. Fixed Blue Sky status reporting and enable. Yeah. So, but enabling Blue Sky, right? So flipping that over, this is another thing. So I flipped it to enabled. The only time that it'll actually start using it now is if I restart the app and get it going. 5-minute break every hour where I can stretch and run some ads. The most that I can run ad-wise is I can run 2 minutes at a time. I'm not opposed to that. Twitch would like me to run 4 minutes of ads. I would run 2 minutes every half hour. So we'd get to 4 minutes of ads. The ad revenue would be donated as well. So it's important to me that if I'm going to run ads, and the ads won't appear for you on YouTube, but if I'm going to run ads on Twitch, I want to make sure that folks understand, and maybe I put a thing up on screen that, hey, ads are running, and we're going to step away and take a break, very much like a Pomodoro, right? Pomodoro technique. That's kind of you, TV. Thank you. Right? I know folks do run ad blockers. If that's up to you, that's fine. It doesn't make a difference to me. It does make a difference to the folks at Twitch. Broadcasting, and we did some of the math around how much bandwidth costs, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So if I force a restart on this, I thought, push that. Fine, pull it. If I restart, like, running Twitch costs a lot. Running YouTube costs a lot. Costs literally hundreds of millions of dollars in bandwidth and disk costs to run YouTube. Yeah, Twitch is losing money on every streamer who has under 1,000 viewers. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to get to 1,000 viewers. Oh my gosh, I would love to get to 1,000 viewers. So if I go over here, hashtag.net, add that. Yeah, see, it's like the file isn't there or something, and it is there because I have Blue Sky enabled. It remembered it. It remembered that. It remembered my other settings, but for some reason, it doesn't pick that up right away. So I feel like moderation shouldn't be turned on if you're in single user mode. So, and even then, it's not resizing that properly. But for a developer just wanting to get in and take a look, I think this is good. Yeah, this thing. It's because the key is time here. On Waterfall Razor. Let's change that. Let's fix that. Yes, I need the Allen Iverson practice quote. Because I did go out and I did get... Because I didn't know any better, I got... Oh, you didn't know? I didn't. Waterfall Razor. So here. The values is a date time offset. Let's turn that into a string. Instead of pushing content timestamp, let's force that to a value and add the unique ID to this. So let's go to string, right? Look, I've got a handful of these open. C#, date, time to string. Give me the custom format stuff. I want... That's not bad. Let's start with that. Right. Probably want year, month, day, 2-digit hour, 2-digit minute, 2-digit second, plus content dot something like that, so that it's really unique. Yes, go ahead, restart. Could have sworn Visual Studio had IntelliSense for date time. I thought so too. The class is green labeled. Which classes? Can I convert from datetime offset to string? Waterfall Razor 139. Yeah, I need that same format everywhere now. Oh no, where'd it go? I've gone too far. 139 here on pause click, and it's adding. Ta-da. Here it goes. Two. And I should, it's after 2. I should run, wrap up here. I do have some work to do. I've got a tree that fell in the yard I need to cut up. Waterfall 99. There's another one of those. Building. There we go. Come on. Right. But by putting the date time up front there, it'll still sort descending for us. There we go. In memory. No, not in memory. SQLite. Should be restarting. There it goes. And admin. I got to figure out why that doesn't save the first time. No errors. Ah, where'd that come? Okay. Waterfall Razor line 60. No. Man. Contain it. I thought there was a contains key. Yes. No. What? Come on back into that. Because existing content is a... Wait a sec. No, this should be content. That's a sorted list. Now I should be able to say contains key. It's pointing to the wrong collection. There we go. Refresh the screen. No errors. But see, it's the paint and how it sizes there doesn't start right. But for folks that are getting things working, like, we're in. Right? I need an indicator that that worked. Why didn't that save? Where's my... There it goes. There we go. It's too big. Like, some of these messages are just not bad. I should set a maximum size on the dialogue, but save some changes here. Tags app, Blazor, client. That's all I need. Fixed duplicate sample data issue. But it's now it loads and makes it easier for folks to get in. Hey Zoltra Lord, happy Sunday. Yeah, IntelliSense with Blazor does seem junky, and it's Visual Studio needs to restart. There's something out of sync there. Zoltra Sword, you like the flip animation? You ain't seen nothing yet. Watch this. I can customize. Oh! All right, we'll update the modal customization. I'll put the same... There we go. Here. Stand by. Where do you see this? No. It's rebuilding. You can see it right there. But we'll turn on single user mode, which will be very nice. Like I said, we'll be able to reuse that for the Blazor native like Windows app, where you want SQLite, you don't want moderation, right? So, and for some reason that doesn't load, but providers, there, it's searching. So modal customization, there it is. Font color on the back of the card, yellow. Background color, I'll make like that purple. Why isn't it updating over here? This just in from chat. That didn't save over there. Why? right? That should be saving. It's not. Like, okay. So there's clearly something not saving properly into SQLite with this. I'm going to guess we're missing a table. But in the full Postgres version, you can configure that background. Put a logo on it, whatever you'd like. But I think we'll update that also so that you can change the animation to a bunch of different animations at some point. I don't want to talk about that. I do need to wrap up. Let's call it right there. We've got a bunch of good stuff that we've added. Moved auth detection to uninitialized. Right. Because if I... Right, app settings is over here and it has those settings in there. If I actually did start my database, restarted this. Yeah, there's a size issue that we need to address there, Thai TV. So that, right, it stays within a maximum size on screen. So, there we go. Now it loaded my configuration off disk, off the database. So now if I go into admin, I can customize the modal. It's not showing my background image for some reason. That's a little bit broken. Not gonna lie. C# Fritz logo. Yeah, why isn't that loading? Go back over to the waterfall view, and if I choose one, there's my background image. So you can customize it. But it feels like there's something broken in there. But that's all loading out of a database. The idea being you don't have to configure the Postgres database. It'll just work for you by default here. That's pretty close to being ready. But I'm gonna call it there for right now. Get to some other things that I need to handle today. I also want to get the next episode of C# in the cards built and delivered. Thank you so much, friends. I really appreciate you joining me here on a Sunday. Yeah, I've got a tree that fell in the front yard I got to go clean up. And now that we actually have decent weather outside, I can take care of that. It's been great spending time with you. Let me take a look around the horn here and see who else is streaming, who else we can get you connected with. Might be doing something fun or what have you. Let me check in the science and tech category. Wow, it is quiet out there. You know what? I'm gonna get you connected with a friend who's playing some Minecraft. Let's set up the raid, and we are going to raid Jester 1147. Jester's a great friend that I got to meet in person at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital last year. He raises money for them as well when we get into that time of year. He's a veteran, but he's also brilliant with Minecraft. Have a great rest of your day, folks. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.